And let's move on to the final topic, which is everyone's favorite, anime dartboard, where Zach and I go through a laundry list of anime titles that nobody's ever heard of, and we watch them in review.
Yes, indeed.
This week,
this was an OVA.
yeah, this was a movie, which was nice, so it was easy to watch. I literally finished it right when we were about to start.
I could hear the audio.
So this one, we know that I watched. This one is called Fragtime.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
This is bad. This isn't very good.
Yeah, it was. Thank God it was only an hour.
Yeah.
It was interesting because it starts off, you're like, oh, cool, a girl that can stop time. But why is she stopping time? So she can look at other girls' panties. And I was like, is Master Roshi in this? Like, what is this?
No, she stops time to avoid social situations because she has social anxiety. She only looked at the panties the one time. But
Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Her. Huh?
Said Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy Pride Month,
Happy
everyone.
Pride.
Yeah, this does the thing where I've seen other Yuri series do, other Shoujo Y series do, where one of the girls is into the relationship and the other one's super detached and is just in there. This is like a fucking Shoujo Y trope for some unknown reason. And the other girl's just in the relationship because why the hell not? It doesn't create a very good relationship dynamic, and it makes it very hard to invest yourself in the characters' relationships. I would actually almost argue that the time-stopping aspect being used as a sort of like a metaphor for withdrawing into your own world for social anxieties is actually the more interesting aspect than the romance angle.
Yeah, which they didn't really
explore.
Yeah, they didn't explore that at all. It was more of just like a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Which was annoying.
If it explored it better, like the concept, I feel like it could have been a more interesting OVA, but it's really like it presents the theme and then says what it is, and then it explores a very haphazardly handled romantic plot.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, for what it is, it's a very average OVA.
Yeah.
With a good idea that's not really drawn out as it should have been. It's more like this is a thing that she does. So when it happens, it just kind of happens, and it's not explored the way it should be. Because I thought that was the most interesting thing, like the first time that happens, and then as it progresses, it like leans into like their relationship and stuff, and I'm like, I don't care about that. Like, I like the other stuff, like, you know, that pertains to like what she's actually doing and why she's doing it, and then she just like loses it too by the end.
The manga has 18 chapters, so it's possible this was better developed in the manga, but we aren't reviewing the manga, and that's actually, I think, where my issues with Fragtime is. It's just all of the aspects in this seem half-baked and a bit rushed.
No, I agree. Especially in like the 1 hour, 1 minute, like runtime.
Yeah. And what was there, I don't think was very good in concept anyway. I think the idea of the one girl always trying to please the people around her, that could have been explored better, but it was very heavy-handed the way it was explored with like the cue cards and stuff.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to see some more nuance in that, if anything. Like the Fragtime metaphor is like decent, like that's a good idea, but the other girl, whose name I don't fully remember, was handled much worse. But I would
Haruka?
also argue.
Is that her name? I'm staring at my anime list.
Yeah, Haruka and Misuzu. But Haruka was almost more of the focus of the OVA itself. Would you agree to that?
No, yeah. You can. Like, this is like one of those things that are like, if it would have been like a 6-episode miniseries, it probably would have fared better.
I wouldn't even say that would be necessary. Make it a movie, add 30 minutes, 40 minutes to it.
Yeah.
You could probably flesh it out better, get better into the themes and concepts.
like if there was more time to it, I feel like it would have been better, or it could have been more boring.
Yes, it could have been more boring.
So like
You're
it's
not
kind of a
wrong.
catch-22. Like it could have been more fleshed out, like why it's happening, why she's doing like the whole thing, like her like mental state in which why she does that. That would have been cool to explore, but it wasn't. But they also could have had more time where it just focuses more on the relationship between the two, and like I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it delves into two possible aspects to explore the story, and it doesn't really develop either of them.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think that's all I have to say with Fragtime. Honestly, I think this was our best, most intelligent discussion we've ever had on Dartboard.
Yeah, because I actually watched it.
Because you actually watched it, and it was like 5 seconds ago, so you actually remember what I'm talking about.
Yes, that's why I was like, I'm gonna watch it like right before, just so I remember everything. So I almost watched it like a few days after, and I was like, no, I'm gonna forget fucking everything about this.
Yes.
But I watched it today, and I made sure I actually watched it, and didn't play anything or like paid attention. I'm gonna put this at like a 5 because it's average. You know, it's not bad in the sense, and like I wouldn't like it. I mean, this is for people. Like somebody would like this. Like somebody would watch this and be like, I like the romance part of it. I personally don't like romance a lot, but there's some things where like I do like. Obviously, I watch like a lot of like sometimes romance movies. I watched The Notebook probably like a month ago. That's like just a straight up romance movie. Don't at me. I think that movie's actually pretty good. But like in like this case, like I didn't care. Like there wasn't anything that I cared about. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah. Weirdly enough, we're kind of syncing up here because, unlike you, I do watch romances a lot. In fact, it's my primary genre. As I've said before, I have watched more romance anime than most people have watched anime. Like over I think it's pushing the like 230s at this point, right?
Yeah.
But it also kind of means that, like, as someone who doesn't like romance, which is where you're coming from it on, it's probably got to be a pretty decently handled romance to actually catch your attention. Whereas on my side, I've seen so much romance that it has to be a pretty decently done romance anime for it to catch my attention. So I think we like weirdly sync here, but from just like two different angles.
Correct. Yeah. Which I mean, like somebody out there will like this. Like this is made for people that like this type of stuff. But unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. But I'm not saying it's bad. But I'm also saying it's in the realm of like I don't like this. So like it's somebody would be like, this is like this is good. You know, it may not be the best thing I like, but it has its moments.
One thing I will say about what you're saying right now, because I feel like you kind of do this and it makes your ratings very unreliable and inconsistent.
You're welcome.
Would you genuinely give this a 5? Don't worry about other people. That's not relevant. That's not your job as someone who is like giving a review and breaking it down. Is this a 5 to you?
So yes, I did not hate this.
Okay.
I just thought it was boring and it could have been fleshed out more with the stuff that I cared about.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, because we end up in weird scenarios where you're like,
Guardians of the Galaxy is the best game of all time.
I was thinking your Eternals review, actually.
That's also fair too.
A glowing review and a high score, and then like the next time you talked about it, you're like, oh, complete dog shit. Belongs in a dumpster. And I'm like, I'm so confused.
That's why it's sometimes better for me to watch something and then have a little bit of time to think about it.
Yeah.
Because like, so Eternals is like, again, that's like a 6.5. Like I think originally
way lower than you.
Yeah, I think I gave it like an 8 or an 8.5. And then after thinking about it for like a couple months, and like especially after watching like Spider-Man No Way Home, I was like, yeah, that movie's not that great.
Yeah, I mean, as far as reviews go, like I mentioned, weirdly enough, tying it back into a little bow at the start of the stream, a review's main purpose is to explain what you felt about it, why you felt about that, right? So like you're not really supposed to say what you think an audience reception would be, because that's not really useful information.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what you thought of it. But like it's like that's why like I say things like this is made for people that like that type of stuff, because
Yeah.
it is like I'm sure like someone's like, oh, Fragtime, like that's one of my favorite things that came out in 2019, you know?
Would actually almost argue that as someone whose primary genre is romance, and specifically like romance comedies, romance genres like Fragtime, it is made for me and it still fails.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So John, would you recommend Fragtime?
If somebody was
I've been
like
watching a lot of Red Letter Media lately, and part of me thinks the "would you recommend" is actually a more useful metric than buy, rent, or own.
hey, everything's always evolving. So would I recommend this? If somebody's like, hey, I want something that has romance in it, I'd be like, well, I just watched Fragtime, you may like it, but I didn't.
Yes. I gave this a 4 out of 10,
Fair enough.
which is hilarious because on a tangent that has nothing to do with it, more often than not, I always find this amusing that you're the one that says dartboard is more misses than hits, even though statistically you enjoy the darts way more often than I do.
You never know. If there's punchies and kickies going on, I will probably enjoy it.
Yes.
Or some weird supernatural shit, because apparently Supernatural is my most watched category.
You might actually want to first off update your Mal, because don't think I haven't noticed you don't actually do that.
You know damn well I don't. Because I forget.
But you might also want to go back to Anime Plus and update that, because they redid the genres and they're way better now.
I will do that.
Yeah, like they like added like isekai, and they like changed like dementia to like avant-garde. It's a lot better handled as far as genres, and it'll probably give you a more I think they added like shonen as a genre. So yeah, I would highly recommend, updating your thing. Excuse me. I would highly recommend like updating your list, and then going ahead and going back to Malgraph and then updating that, because it'll probably won't say Supernatural anymore. It'll probably give you an actual answer that's more like anime appropriate.
I'm doing that right now.
You're updating your whole list?
No, I'm just like going to the.
I was gonna say you probably have a shit ton of stuff to add to it. What was the last thing you?
Yeah, I have to add the rest of Demon Slayer on there. Probably no, I shouldn't have to add the last.
You should probably have to add a bunch of the old darts.
I'm gonna add them all.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll check it out.
Yes. Anyway, I'm ready to move on from Fragtime if you are.
Yeah. Maybe watch it.
Ready? Yeah, I give it 4. I would not recommend it. Okay, here we go. We're gonna shuffle. Oh, on a side note, we're on to 122 series. We will never run out.
Woo!
All right, here we go. In a flat face so you can see my reaction.
All right.
What the fuck is this?
I like that.
That's always a good sign.
It's either gonna be a hit or a miss.
Coincidentally, you know how last time I said we almost got Kinotabi?
Mm-hmm.
We almost got it again.
Someday we'll get it.
This is Tsukete Ie Nayo. Say I love you. Okay, interesting.
All right.
Let's see. This is a fall 2022 anime, animated by Studio Zex. Its tags are drama and romance and shoujo. I guess they made a sequel of this. It is directed by Sato Takuya, who directed Oh my God, Steins Gate.
Okay.
Did series composition for Fate Stay Night. Directed the Steins Gate movie. Directed Steins Gate OVA. Directed Sedakai no Ichizen. Uh, Directed Selector Infected Weezos. Directed Ichigo Marshmallow. Ew, he did Rewrited. Ugh. It was all hits until Rewrited.
What is the name of this again?
Say I Love You. Okay, so mostly he just did Steins Gate, but that's a pretty damn good record, frankly, quite frankly. Maid says she said it. She gave it a 7. There you go.
What's the Japanese name of it?
Tsukite Ie Nayo.
Okay, found it.
Okay. With an average mouse score of 7.43, so it's on the higher side of the coin flip. Friends will only let you down. That is the sad truth Mei Tachibana lives with ever since she was wrongfully blamed for the death of a class pet by her so-called friends in grade school. Since then, she stayed away from people in order to avoid ever being hurt again. However, Mei's life begins to change drastically when a misunderstanding in high school causes her to encounter popular student Yamato Kurosawa. Yamato finds her intriguing and insists on being her friend, even though Mei wants nothing to do with him. But when a dangerous situation ends with Yamato kissing Mei to save her from the unwanted attention of a stalker, Mei begins to develop feelings for him. On the heels of her discovery that their feelings are mutual, they start dating, and she gains not only a boyfriend, but friends as well. Mei, however, finds it very hard to adapt to this new lifestyle, especially in expressing her true feelings towards Yamato. Throughout the misunderstandings of their new relationship, each other, and the attentions of other girls, Mei and Yamato slowly grow closer and learn the true meaning of those 3 little words, I love you, written by Mal Rewrite. Background, Tsukite Nayo is licensed by Sentai Filmworks for release in North America. The anime adaptation was followed by a live-action adaptation that premiered in 2014 and earned 1 billion yen, around 10 million USD, at the Japanese box office.
All right, another romance.
We have to watch the dub, Maid. We have to watch the dub, May. That's the rule. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Do I need to explain how this one got my attention? I think I read the plot summary and that was it.
Oh, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
I read the plot summary. Oh my God, Mel has a dark mode?
No, Opera can force anything into dark mode.
Oh.
Yeah. Opera is chef's kiss.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
This could either go one way or 2 ways. Either it's going to be very shitty and generic, or I'm going to love it. There is no in between.
That's fair, yeah. It is on High Dive. It did say it was on High Dive, and I had to sign up for High Dive.
Well, because it's Sentai, yes.
I had to sign up for High Dive today, so.
For Fragtime?
Yep.
Yep.
I was like, where can I watch this?
If you have High Dive and Crunchyroll, that's everything.
High Dive is not on Crunchyroll anymore.
No, if you have High Dive and Crunchyroll.
Oh, yeah.
You have everything, yeah. Oh, I believe you can also, by the way, John, I found this out. There's a legal streaming site, I believe, called Tubi. You can watch like Naruto and Hunter x Hunter and shit on Tubi.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have Funimation.
I found it very recently. I saw it as like an advertisement on like some YouTuber's channel.
Yeah, even like but you can't watch all the Shippuden like legally.
Oh well.
Well, dubbed.
I don't know what to I don't know what to tell you about that, but yeah, they have like a lot of old shit. Oh, they even have some of the movies. It's probably with ads, obviously, but yeah. Okay. They have like a lot of like old shit on there, so you might want to check that out. I'm also Maid put me onto like Retro Crush. Retro Crush is also a pretty decent streaming site. I'm pretty sure Tubi is legal. I don't want to.
There's two. I have a Tubi app on my TV. Yeah.
Oh, do you? Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so Tubi and like Retro Crush are 2 like legal streaming sites that you can watch a lot of the older shit that sometimes show up on Dartboard. So I would recommend either of those. But also with those, you also have like Crunchyroll and like High Dive. That's almost anything you could ever want to watch.
Yeah, I'm officially subscribed to every anime streaming site that you can pay for.
Hell yeah! Well, Funimation's gonna die soon, so
Yeah, it's all gonna be one app.
they gave me a year of Crunchyroll because of my 1 year of Funimation. So I actually ended up with more Crunchyroll than I did Funimation. But shh, don't tell them. I felt like they knew. I feel like they didn't do it on accident.
All right, well, that's what we're watching next for next month.
Oh yeah, what are your feelings on Say I Love You? I guess.
I mean, it's a romance, so I'm gonna go into it with an open mind and an open heart.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll make.
Stay tuned for next episode where John gives it the most glowing review of all time.
Maybe. I'm gonna make my lady friend watch it.
Oh, okay. And then you get really uncomfortable during the aggressive rape scene.
I mean, she's like, "What's Berserk?" And I'm like, "You're not ready."
Yeah.
You're not ready for that.
That's why you got to get a girl and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna watch Berserk," and she's like, "Berserk? What are you, a pussy?" Get on that gyno cyber shit. And I'm like, you know what? You might be too much woman for me. Hold on.
Like, I might have to reach Fred real quick. Like so much like an animal.
You ever read Dead Tube? I'm a big My-chan's Daily Life fan. Do not look that up.
I'm not going to. No,
You aren't ready for My-chan's Daily Life.
I'm all set.